Your religious background?
Not luckily, because I didn't get indoctrinated.
You said you believe in.
Alright, come forward. Let's speak.
I think everyone should believe what they believe, and I think I respect you for coming here.
No, I respect you for coming here.
No, I'm just passing through. I'll go to work actually.
Oh, all right. What time do you start work? So I don't have to.
Well, it's Sunday, so I can go when I want. You know.
Oh, really? Yeah. Good. I like that, man. I wish I had to work like that. I can just come in whenever I want. Sounds like good work. What's your name, by the way? Sorry.
No, I don't want to give my
Okay,
name.
that's fair. My name is Mohammed.
Alright, nice to meet you.
So what you say that you don't believe in God? Or?
No, I think what has been written by man. There's so many things in it which contradict not just all religions. I'm just saying everything that I've read. I've not read Arabic, but when I first read it, it's quite beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But then as I start thinking about it, I thought no.
No, fair enough. I mean, let's start with the base, right? Do you believe in a deity, or let's just say an entity that brought rise to the universe?
No. I think we don't know that. We don't know if there is or isn't anything.
So you're agnostic on it? Or?
No, I don't know what to believe because there's no one here on Earth that would know what there is.
How did the universe come into existence?
It could be multiverse. It could always have existed.
Okay, but how did this universe come into existence?
It could have always existed. There's an infinite number of universes possibly given.
Even being nice to each other.
This is what is possibly
Attain the pleasure of
string theory proposing that there may be an infinite amount of universes that have always been.
Okay, no problem. I'm just saying.
This is most likely.
I'm talking about this universe, right? I'm not talking about multiverse. So I'm asking you, how did this universe come into existence?
As a part of a multiverse.
All right, so as part of a multiverse. Now, if we say that this is true,
well, you're trying to make a supposition. You're trying to actually presuppose something. Right?
no,
You can't do that. You don't know
I haven't made any argument.
You're saying this is true, but you don't know.
No, I said if we're saying that this is true.
You don't know because you are
At the moment,
something and then
I haven't said anything
make a decision.
about religion. I haven't said nothing about religion.
Okay, but I'm saying you are. Oh no. Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Right now, you said you believe in multiverse, right?
I think, given what is being written and what my limited understanding, because I'm just a regular guy.
No, you're a regular guy.
I'm a regular person, so from what I can see and what I've read in religions, they seem to prescribe very man-made solutions to certain problems of its day.
Well, man-made, like, how would you know what to compare a man-made solution with a solution from a deity?
I would say, and I don't want to be controversial, but I would say, for example, the niqab is a very, like the God made like black holes. It made the stars and planets, yet it will tell a lady just cover up a little bit and then you'll be fine. It seems to be ungodly.
Okay.
It seems to be like a little bit
I'm liking what you said.
lowbrow solution.
So is that because what you're suggesting or presupposing is that the socialization that you've been through is a correct socialization? In other words, what I'm saying is that your Western experience, the experience that you've had in the West, where you've been told that women should wear X and that men should wear Y, that constitutes the truth, and that everything that should be anything moral should be kind of measured up towards that truth.
I think moral paradigm always shifts, and so things that seem moral to us now may not be moral to before.
Excellent.
Like for example, and I don't want to be rude, but Muhammad is being said to have by Bukhari to say marry Aisha at 6 and have sex with her at 9. I don't want to that's written, and at that time that was the norm, and that's fine. But morals change. So I'm saying this.
So here, if you accept that morals, in your view, are relative, right? So you can't make a moral argument. Do you know why? Because if you don't believe in an objective morality, then you can't say, okay, well, this is right and this is wrong, because everything is subjective, right?
Exactly, it is subjective.
Okay, so when you're saying, I don't think that this would be godly or this is ungodly, what you're in fact doing is saying, in my opinion, this is correct morality, but I don't have any objective anchoring.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not questioning the God and the morality. I'm talking about the solution to come up with to say, just maybe cover up a little bit. Then you.
No, I'm just asking you a question. If we take your examples, right? I want to say, how do you establish an objective moral basis, epistemologically? How do you?
My morals have changed throughout my life.
Excellent. So how do you know what true morals are?
I'm trying to do what I can and not hurt anybody.
Okay, no, that's J.S. Mill's harm principle.
So that means
let's take a step back
changes.
from it. And I'll ask you this question one more time. How do we know the morals that you believe in are the correct morals, the true objective morals.
Nobody knows. If you think that everything you're doing is correct, then you're maybe could be accused of being a very arrogant person.
Okay, excellent. So we're not trying to arrogate here or trying to, superimpose moral judgments. But what we're trying to say is as follows, right? We're trying to say is that if you presuppose that the Western experience of the 21st century, the socialization that you've undergone, okay, in the 21st century, is the base of all true morality, and then you start.
It isn't, because you're making another presupposition.
Okay.
You're putting on me like this.
But you have done that.
No, I haven't.
Let me tell you why. Can I tell you why you've done that?
My morals are, like I said, shift according to what my life.
If you don't mind me, can I tell you what?
And I'm not just limited to what. Anyway, what is 21st century Western moral? What is that? You can't pin that down. Just like you can't pin down what is a good or bad.
No, but I think there are concepts. There are ideological precepts. I think there are ideological precepts which have risen and become popular. Like, for example, democratic reasoning, liberal reasoning, right? And I think these kinds of things have become common part of the discourse.
There are things I'm liberal about, there's things I'm conservative about, just like what Chris Rock said.
But what I'm trying to say to you...
He said he's liberal about drugs, but conservative about drugs, but liberal about prostitution. I don't know what he said, everyone's got different views on different things.
I'm with you on everything you're saying, but if you follow my argument, try and follow my argument, right? You started off by saying, I don't think, for example, that wearing the face covering or the head covering or whatever would be a godly thing to do. And why? Because in my view, you're presupposing a Western experience. The values and the dress codes of Western women.
Well, think something else. That's their upbringing, that's the experience.
So you understand now.
And I would defend anyone who wants to wear it. They should wear it.
I'm with you. But I'm just saying to you that you started off by saying that, and then you said actually morals are relative. So you see how the two statements are contradictory, because actually you can't have moral relativity and then make a moral argument against something which is relative in the first place.
Morals are relative, so my morals are different to your morals. But I can still debate you. Otherwise, you can debate me. This is my moral framework now. This is what I'm. This is
but
my
you have no
experience.
objective
But it can
anchoring.
shift. It's not guided by one book. I read many books.
Excellent,
I
fine.
have many sources of morals.
Fine. In other words.
So it's different from yours.
Excellent.
You have the one source.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't change. You can't. That's the difference between you and me. I can go out there and maybe change my morals. I maybe have another.
So why is that a
experience.
good thing?
It's a good thing because I think I'm more broad. You're very narrow.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me ask you a question, right? This is again presupposing a Western narrative. You always think this is your view.
No, you again. I haven't said to you this is what you think. I know, for example, because you've espoused about this Quran, that you have a narrow view in that sense. So I can assume that
I believe you have a narrow view
but
as
you
well.
can't assume
I believe you have a narrow view as well. Because, do you know why I believe you have a narrow view? Because you're looking at the world with the prism of post-enlightenment Western philosophical precepts, and you can't see beyond that prism. Therefore, I believe
I can see beyond that prism, because I can see religions that were made in the 6th, 7th century, or even before that, 100 years. I can see through the prism of that time why people came up with a guide for religions for that time.
You're suggesting that as time goes on, there is inevitable moral progression.
It's hard to call it progression.
So
it's just change.
What's the issue of it being from the 6th century, 7th century, or 8th century?
Because at the time there were different economic and social structure that needed to be regulated.
What, are they better or worse than now?
I would say, from my perspective, they're better because.
They're better before.
May I just say why?
What before?
Because we are. There's less. There's many things like there's less harm to animals now. There's more like there's less. There's slavery is seen as a bad thing. As at that time it was quite normal.
Less harm to animals now.
We are improving. I know there's mass market consumerism, but then there is actually at least an increase in consciousness of knowing of their suffering. At least there's an increase in not wanting to have slavery.
To be fair, I think that example was a very poor example.
No, it's a better example because people didn't know the notion of. They didn't understand. They didn't even actually know that at that time that fish felt pain. We know now.
No, but hold on.
Because there's a different. I'm trying to explain something. So I'm saying that we do know a lot more now than we did those days. So consciousness is increasing about many things.
But you're
that increases our moral framework.
Okay, but here I'm talking about morality, right? Because to say, for example, that the morality of the 7th century, the 8th century is not as good as the morality of today.
I would say no. I wouldn't say good.
So what
not
wording would you
widespread,
use?
not widespread in certain facets, right? In certain ways.
You don't have any base of measurement?
I can't because less people die violently now per capita than they used to, like even throughout history.
Completely wrong.
It is. No, it isn't. It's you should check the facts.
No, I've checked the facts.
You haven't. Because
Okay, let me
obviously
tell you the
every
facts.
measure that there is, people that die less violently now, percentage-wise,
That's
than ever in
completely
history.
wrong. That's
It is.
completely wrong.
You look through history. I think you need to check your facts.
No, hold on. The 20th century was the bloodiest century.
Yeah, but still, in
of-
terms of look at the global population,
Okay.
people
Okay.
have died less as a percentage of total population than
not
they
true.
ever
That's
did.
not
I think you are wrong. You need to check your facts.
Okay, so
check
let's-
all the measures. I
So
can
let's
send it.
let's go to the first early wars, right? Look, what I'm saying to you is as follows, yeah. Obviously now we've got 7 billion people on the earth. Yeah, we've got 7 billion or something like that. In the 20th century, actually let's not even go to the 20th century. The 30 Years' War, which started I think 1618 to 1648. The 30 Years' War, which was between like Catholics, Protestants and stuff like that in Europe. 1.4% of the world's population were eradicated. 1.4% of Europe's population were eradicated. That's just in 30 years. At the turn of the 20th century, the First and Second World War produced most casualties than any other war.
Yeah, but
before
now
it.
you're losing an absolute number rather and then comparing it to a relative. So you,
No,
you
even
shouldn't do
even
that.
as a relative.
You just did
So,
that. So I
in
think you
World
need
War
to
II
check your measures.
Fine.
And you
In
look
World War
at
II, World War
right?
II, World War II, about 30 million people died, casualties.
Yeah, and then you have to look at global population.
So
and you have to
global
look at the
population,
past. And if you look at many archaeological finds, they find there's more trauma injury to people in the past, percentage-wise, than they are nowadays.
I'd have to see your facts
I think
on
you
that.
need to look it up.
We can both
But
look
you're
it
just
up.
making a statement there, and you have
I'm
no
giving numbers, you're not giving any numbers.
Because I don't carry these numbers in my head. I can show you that.
How do you come to your conclusion?
Because I've read those numbers.
Where's the numbers? What have you read?
I read and listen to a lot of things. A lot of podcasts. I read a lot of science. I read National Geographic. I read a lot of stuff.
Alright, so when you say the past, what line are we
Talking
talking
about
about?
throughout the human history, going back even thousands, many thousands of years. So, this
So what are we talking about? You said back in the day, so what time period are we looking at?
if we're just looking, for example, like where we are now in the last
Compared to-
since post-war. You can start any
Post-war?
point or whenever, even in the
You
last
don't
few
know
decades.
what you're talking about.
I do, and then you don't because you are trying to compare absolute numbers to relative.
No, because you're saying
so you
post-war.
don't. So you don't.
But post-war, which war? Second World War.
If you look, I think you just need to check your facts. Just look
I
at
am
what
checking.
you're-
Okay, tell me what period we're looking at and compare.
No, because I'm not walking encyclopedia. So I
Why is it
can send you.
Okay, fine.
I can send you something.
The point I'm making to you is, whatever standard you're using, right, to suggest that morality has progressed.
I would say progress. I think it's wrong to try.
If we take a step back, I would say to you, on a base level, I would say that if you agree that morals are relative, yeah, in the first instance, then I would even say to you, I would say, who cares anyway? If people are dying less or more.
But then again, even a Quranic view, the way it's interpreted, is actually relative too. Because people, it is because.
Is Islam a race? Is Islam a race?
I might need to pray in a second.
Okay, no worries.
So what I wanted to say to you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to get into all this.
Put your hand up.
Did I offend you? Did I offend you?
Islam
Did I offend you at all?
Put your hand up.
Yeah, you sure, yeah? Nice one.
Very nice to meet you.
It's
You're a
good,
very
no,
nice
it's good,
guy.
it's good. You're a nice guy as well, man. Thanks a lot for that. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna get to work anyway.
Go to work,
No one
just think of one
agrees
thing. I
with
want you
you
to do, if
that
you do a bit of
Islam
reading,
is a race.
chapter
No one
50
agrees with you.
to chapter
No one
114 is
agrees
a part of
with
the Quran called Al-Mufassal.
It's here.
Check it up,
Everyone can go online.
check it up, and then let me know what you think afterwards. You have a feedback.
What's your name, actually?
Mohammed.
Mohammed. Are you on? You're on the YouTube?
I'm on YouTube,
Like
Mohammed.
you're like some kind of channel or something?
Yeah.
For your high
It's
school.
called Mohammed
I'll
Hijab.
find you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.